put my medal on. Whose blood to spill, I don't know. Whose side I'm on. Two armies are coming at me. Their flags and weapons look the same. One tells the truth, the other's lying. And they're both calling my name. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made. Ooh, no one ever starts that way. But this is how villains are made. Time to put my medal on. Whose neck to cut, I don't know. Whose side I'm on. There lies my sanity. There goes my mind, I could not say. I don't trust what I see right in front of me. I don't know who to betray. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made. So easily we're persuaded. When the lines are blurred and faded. No one ever starts that way. This is how villains are made. Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Prosecutor said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
And FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. Undeniable.
I kind of played with my levels now while the intro was going. How are they?
Well, hi, everyone.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Sorry, I don't have my typical cup of coffee. I have a cup of Holiday Starbucks.
God.
This show's sponsored by Starbucks.
No, it's not.
And socialism, apparently.
Listen, I don't give a fuck what anybody says, dude. They make a good cup of coffee. And for you can't do any better for $9.
I'm drinking mushroom coffee right now.
You are you really
Yep.
drinking
I
the mushroom
really am.
coffee?
I really am. Yes.
Yep.
You've
Not
offered-
psychedelic
you've-
mushrooms, by the way.
That's
It's not.
you've been
No.
drinking it all morning. That's why you've been fucking kooky all morning.
I've been drinking it for like a month, and I got to be honest. I'm a believer. It's real.
Which one are you drinking?
I'm not going to say their brand because A, they're liberal, and B, they're not paying us.
Oh,
And I
like
don't-
we're afraid of saying liberal coffee. This
Touche,
is the liberal
touche.
coffee brand.
My girl got that Rise shit you see on Facebook a lot, but honestly, man, I was skeptical. I just tried it to try it, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is
You got to
fucking
try.
cool."
You got to try Everyday Dose.
That's my next one in
It's
mud
really
water. I'm going
good.
to try them all.
That's what I'm drinking all the time.
I don't. So
There you
wait.
go.
So is it mushrooms mixed with coffee?
Yes, yes. It is
Yep.
lion's mane, cordyceps, turkey's tail, shiitake, and a couple other ones. These things actually do have very high medicinal property values. I'm a big believer in mushrooms. I always have been.
So you know why I think
Also
it's
turn you into
bullshit?
zombies.
You want me to tell you why I think it's all bullshit?
Go ahead, please. By all means.
So I used to do a lot of psychedelic mushrooms, and it doesn't take it takes a good
Why
amount.
your
of,
eyes
yeah,
all funky?
He has a. That's why I have sunglasses on.
I used to grow them.
But you have to take a lot, like an eighth, right?
No.
In order to start feeling something.
No.
I do.
Well, it depends on how potent they are.
How much like shredded mushrooms
Well,
can you fit
glad you asked
into
that.
this?
So what they do is they actually make a proprietary
extract?
They extract and they make a concentrated blend, all organic. You can only do that with mushrooms because they're so finicky with parasites and storing. So you can pack 48 grams into something this big. Not unheard of.
All right, listen, we've
Do not
spent too
promote
much time.
illegal drug use.
We're losing viewers here if we keep talking about fucking mushroom coffee.
Hey, well, let's talk about motorcycles
I
and
don't-
guitars for an hour and farts.
You fucking piece of shit. Let's talk about this story that came out yesterday. I got a lot of leftists in my account commenting on it. Yesterday, the president has issued a pardon for Tina Peters, something that he's advocated for a long time. Since the beginning of his presidency, we've seen him. You can't call them tweets; those truths, which is kind of weird. I think they need a rebrand. But he's talked about Tina Peters for a long time, and you met him not too long ago. Peter Tickton
Yes.
had sent a letter to the White House directly.
Yes.
And I know that Ed Martin has been pushing a pardon for her. What does that mean, right? And let's start. Let me bring this up on screen. This is a tweet from Ed Martin, and I'm going to go ahead and read it out. Ed Martin says, "No one left behind," and that's always been Ed's motto. No MAGA left behind. No person left behind. And really, what he's saying is like the weaponized justice system that has worked against me and you, Barry, and possibly could have worked against you, Rob. He's always been a big advocate. He's probably like the best pick in this administration
For that
by
position.
far.
For his position, for sure. 100%.
For his position. So I'm going to go ahead and read out the president's tweet. For years, Democrats have ignored violent, vicious crime of all shapes, sizes, colors, and types. Violent criminals who should have been locked up were allowed to attack again. Democrats were also far too happy to let in the worst from the worst countries so they could rip off American taxpayers. I'm going to include, get Democrats some slave labor. Democrats only think that there is one crime, not voting for them. Instead of protecting Americans and their tax dollars, Democrats chose instead to prosecute anyone they can find that wanted safe and secure elections. Democrats have been relentless in their targeting of Tina Peters, a patriot, which is true, who simply wanted to make sure that our elections were fair and honest. Tina is sitting in a Colorado prison, sick and in the shoe, may I add.
Yes.
for the crime of demanding an honest elections. He capitalized honest. Today, I am granting Tina a full pardon for her attempts to expose voter fraud in the rigged 2020 presidential election. We've covered this on the show multiple times. Tina Peters is a political prisoner. I know that the Biden DOJ was looking to charge her, and when they didn't do that fast enough, they went ahead and Colorado charged her. Colorado, to let you guys know, is the same state that tried to knock President Trump off the ballot just a couple months before election. Failed miserably in the Supreme Court on a 9-0 ruling.
Yeah.
But these are state crimes.
Yeah.
Right? So what does this mean? Looking at it, there has never, I've done a little bit of research on it overnight. So that's not the best research, but the Constitution clearly states crimes against the United States, right? It has never been tested in U.S. courts, right? There's no case law, there's no precedent, there's nothing. This is the first time that something like this has happened. I feel like the Supreme Court is going to grant them cert, right? Which is going to bring the case in. And I think that the Constitution is ambiguous. I honestly, I think it's clear. Crimes against the United States, she was charged for election, exposing election crime. Within there, the purview is federal elections. As a matter of fact, the indictment of Tina Peters includes elements of federal election law. So does the Supremacy Clause in the United States Constitution, for those that don't know what the Supremacy Clause is, federal law is above state law. It's the law of the land. Does it cover Tina Peters? So just in general, I want to get your guys' thoughts. I'll start with you, Barry.
Well, I mean, it's good to see from a selfish perspective. We obviously were clearly biased in favor of Tina Peters. I mean, she's one of our people. And at the end of the day, it's good to see that something was even declared, even if it's not constitutionally or legally sound, being that this is a state case and Donald Trump is head of the federal government. Even if that is just a posturing move, it's good to see that the wheels are turning in the right direction and these things are getting addressed, because she is the most important. She's sitting behind bars right now. We need to get her out. And like you said, appropriately so, she's sick and she's been stuck in the shoe just to continue torture against her. On that note, I really hope that what my question I would ask is, because this is a federal case, why have they had and this is what Peter Tickton said, they've had such a problem, which has never been in the past, getting her taken into a federal custody because they want to make it a federal case. They were more than willing to do that, but Peter claims that there's an inside person in Trump's administration stopping that from happening. So my question is, why can't they make this a federal case, take her from the state?
Well, I'll give you a brief so we could hear from Rob, but I think that part is kind of sketchy because it is a state case. They could pull her for a federal case, but the time, I don't know how Colorado law works, but her ticking time in Colorado State Prison might come to a pause until the federal proceedings are over, and then she has to be remanded back to Colorado. So I think what the president is doing, and based on sources that I talked to last night and today in the morning, the goal here is to cause the Supreme Court to be the final, have the final say in these matters. Rob, what do you think?
Well, I just think that Trump saying what he's saying, obviously you can't override a state crime. When it comes to federal laws, states can't do something diametrically opposed to federal laws, like, all these states and all their gun laws. But they don't want to attack that. But in this case, it's really now putting the pressure on Colorado to pull their heads out of their asses. This is also the same state that wanted to take them off the ballot. So I think it's just going to end up falling on deaf ears, unfortunately.
So you don't think the Supreme Court will rule?
I think the Supreme Court's going to rule, but Colorado will keep it wrapped up in the courts, because a lot of the times what the Supreme Court will do, and you see this in 1A cases and 2A cases, is that they remand it back to the circuit courts. And the circuit courts, because they'll be like, all right, listen, circuit court, before we knock your dick in the dirt, make the appropriate decision. And if the circuit court doesn't, but this takes months upon months upon months upon months. If they take it up, I wouldn't see them taking it up until at least the summer.
So the circuit, I'm trying to see if it's the 9th Circuit for Colorado. Actually, no, it's a 10th Circuit for Colorado. The 10th Circuit in Colorado, I mean, they might have a favorable ruling. I just think that I think the Supreme Court's going to take this without kicking it back, because it's unprecedented.
That's what you said. There's no case law supporting this in any way, so it's something that we need to address. I think you put it.
The circuit court, I think, would be one. I don't think that this will eventually get to the Supreme Court, and I think that there will be an emergency.
Right, that's why we have the structure of the circuit courts.
I think Rob's right in the sense that you're going to see a drag out. They're going to drag this shit out.
They're going to drag it out.
Yeah,
they always do. Why would they change it? However, they move pretty fast with a lot of Trump shit before in the past.
Yeah, and I think all they need is 4 of the Supreme Court justices to. I don't think they even need a majority. I think they just need 4.
Okay, I didn't know
that.
I
think.
To grant cert?
To grant cert, yeah.
Okay.
To grant cert.
I didn't know that.
I think if 3 of them, then they won't need it. But this is so if you look at it, this is a power struggle between the executive branch of the United States against the state. If you know history well,
you're right. It takes 4.
It takes 4. Yeah,
it takes 4.
If you know history well, something like this was tried back in the mid 1800s, and it was called the United States Civil War. It didn't go well for the states. Not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying it didn't go well for the states. My prediction here is that this will go pretty well for Tina Peters and the executive branch. I think that the executive should have the power to pardon all crimes across the country. It's one person. Now, what I find interesting about this is Peter Tickton's remarks on the Steve Bannon show. Let me see how long this clip is.
And as soon as we get,
can you pull me up? Can you pull me up on full screen on my my computer screen, Rob, and tell me when you got it?
Would like to see Derek Chauvin get pardoned next.
Good. We'll talk about that now because that might be next.
As much as I
see the movement.
Okay.
As much as I'm not a fan of fucking cops, he's somebody that needs to be fucking pardoned. Absolutely.
I agree. Anywhere. Yep.
To the Department of Corrections and say release her immediately. They say either yes or they say no. They say yes, well, we don't have a problem anymore. They say no, then I jump into federal court and I basically get an order from the judge that says release him, or the judge says, I don't think so.
Hang on. You don't go to the Bureau of Prisons. You go to the Department of Corrections in Colorado, and you've got a pardon letter from the President of these United States, the Chief Magistrate, and the Chief Law Enforcement Officer. You present it to the Department of Corrections and Governor Polis.
No, they can't hear anything, dude.
And they either release her or they say, Tickton, that pardon doesn't.
No.
Well, we could hear it because it's in here. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Can't hear shit. Somebody said, there we go.
All right, chat, can you hear it? Okay.
Yes, we can.
There you go.
Give me a second.
Doesn't mean anything here in Colorado because we're a state. That's a federal pardon. Then what?
Then I jump into court, and then I ask a judge, and the judge says yay or nay. And then no matter what the judge says, we go to the Court of Appeals, And no matter what the Court of Appeal says, it's going to be in the lap of the Supreme Court of the United States.
Because whoever loses, if
Where we
Colorado
made-
loses, they'll go. If you lose, you'll go. So it's got to go all the way up to the Supreme Court,
It's
correct?
got to go all the way. And there we've got a majority that are fundamentalists.
So he says something that I agree with. You know, he's talking about going through the process, going to the district level court in the federal system,
Yep.
then the circuit court, which is as we know, is the appellate court, and then the Supreme Court. The executive branch has the ability through the Solicitor General to bypass all of that. And I think in this case, you're going to see that.
Yeah.
Because her health is not doing good, so there's like a little bit of a time crunch with this. So I think that you'll be able to. I think we will see that. What I also find interesting is I have both of them pulled up. I'm only going to show one. What the governor and the attorney general for Colorado says. Give me that screen again.
Yep.
We could play both of them. Tell me when you.
Yep.
Share this tab
full
instead.
screen.
Are you seeing Governor Jared Polis's?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go. Tina Peters was convicted by a jury of her peers. Well, so was I. Prosecuted by a Republican district attorney and found guilty of violating Colorado state laws, including criminal impersonation. No president has jurisdiction over state law nor the power to pardon a person for state convictions. That hasn't been proven. This is a matter for the courts to decide, and we will abide by court orders. Well, the last part is pretty interesting. So what if the federal court decides that Tina Peters should be released?
And the state refuses to still do so? Is that the scenario here?
Well, no, at that point, United States Marshals will go in there and pick her up.
Yeah.
Because supremacy clause.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think this goes to a federal judge. Let me switch over to this screen. And am I still full screened?
Nope. Now you are.
Okay, so we have Democratic Attorney General Phil Weiser. That's funny, huh?
Look at that. Look at that schnoz. Look at that
funny
fucking
last name.
schnoz.
There's no legal
For
authority.
sure.
AG Weiser won.
For sure. That thing would set off a tripwire.
Stereotyping is terrible, Enrique, okay? It's terrible.
All right, so here we go.
One final question for you here. Practically speaking, what happens if representatives of Tina Peters and or the president show up at the state prison in Pueblo tonight or tomorrow and say Tina Peters is coming with us? Will she be released by the state of Colorado while this plays out?
No, there's no legal authority for any federal government action to take a prisoner who's in state custody, lawfully having been tried, convicted, and sentenced. This is an important principle of our Constitution. And everyone who says they care about the rule of law, about public safety, and our Constitution needs to care about this issue. Ben Franklin said when he left the Constitutional Convention, we have a republic as long as we can keep it. This is one of those moments.
Attorney General Phil Weiser, thank you very much for your time. We'll talk again soon.
What outlet is this? What bullshit news outlet?
Next.
What the fuck is next?
I don't know.
That's we asking ourselves that every day, Rob.
I think more people know who the War Boys Studios are than Next.
Yeah.
We probably have more viewers in them right now. Actually,
probably
we have a good amount of viewers. Now let me if he asked the question whether if the president himself showed up to this state prison, I don't wish civil war on anything. But that Mexican standoff is one that would be rather interesting.
That's racist.
United States Marshals show up to a state prison and demand that Tina Peters get released. I don't think that's going to happen.
You know, I don't want to go on a long diatribe here, but I do feel like I feel, and I hate being in the middle. Being in the middle makes you an easy target. While I do trust this administration, I do support ICE going after these immigrants. I am all about that. Are we becoming a little bit too complacent with the federal government? Because Trump's administration won't always be there.
No.
And if we are allowing this grab of power by the federal government, even though it serves the people now, it will be weaponized against us later.
I said the same thing a month ago, and I got nothing but shit for it.
Barry, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
And to Rob, there's a difference between full on black pill and shitting on everything and having a civil common sense about it. We'll get into that. We'll get in that later, Dr. fucking Doom. But right now, we're having a in the middle of the road conversation.
I just look at fucking things for the reality of what they are. Nothing is great and everything sucks. That's the reality.
That's not the reality. That's your reality because you choose it, but not mine.
So let me tell you what reality is. The reality is, I agree with you. I agree that, setting these precedents for the next administration is bad. But
what?
I've said this before. There's two Americas that we live in, right? And like we can't pretend that we don't live in two Americas.
Right.
So it's us versus them.
We've got fucking two anthems now.
If we keep saying that it's not us versus them and we need to play the moral card or whatever,
and this is how we've lost.
That's how we've lost so much space.
Fact.
I agree with you. In this specific case, if we're talking about this specifically, like if the next, let's say Gavin Newsom wins at some point, I don't think that's going to happen. But if he wants to fucking pardon a fucking state crime, I'll bitch about it.
Your best buddy, it's going to be Pete Buttigieg.
Oh, God. I don't think that guy wins anything.
Yeah.
I was sitting there at the Democratic debates. I actually have the lanyard. I was sitting at the Democratic debates, and he was probably like the worst of the crowd. But for the most part, I just don't see.
He'd win for the biggest gaping asshole.
Yeah. In this case, I don't see it as like a big, like, I think the president of the United States, no matter who it is, should have the ability to pardon any crime anywhere across the United States.
I can co-sign that.
I think he should. I think he should be able to.
I mean, until we've seen Biden and his abuse of the pardon power and ignorance of it, I mean, we never really had a problem with presidents pardoning whoever the fuck they wanted. It's never been an issue.
You weren't. Yeah, that's right. You weren't in jail on January 20th when pardons.
No.
So Biden had pardoned I think 30. It ended up being like 3,500 people for like drug crimes.
There was some very violent offenses on there as well.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying there's one specific.
They were all federal though, right?
They were all federal. Yeah.
Yes.
And they were like low level drug crimes. And while they had to process me first because remember I'm the terrorist.
Yeah.
They had to process me first, but there was 20 at my prison where I was in Pollock, Louisiana. There was 26 other inmates right behind me that were out the fucking door. I support that.
Does anybody know the common denominator of why those inmates were pardoned? Why those people with all those similar low-level drug offenses? Why all of them? Is there some kind of connection there? Was it just some policy they want to implement to show that
I think he he was on the way out and he knew he was never going to get back in. So I think he was just trying to do as much as he can do by pardoning his family, pardoning the J6 committee, and then like kind of masking and be like, well, I pardoned these people, but I pardoned something because I think across the board, people will agree that these low-level fucking drug crimes getting multi-decade sentences is stupid.
Stupid. It is. I can't I agree 100%.
When it comes to that pardon, that specific pardon that Joe Biden did before, I support that. I can't tell you I don't. Let's move on. Let's talk about that now. This actually had a perfect segue. It's always a perfect segue.
It's not, but that's okay.
So Donald Trump yesterday is slated to, and I'll bring it up here on the screen. Give me full screen, and tell me when you're green.
Go.
Breaking Trump. Yeah, Mario Nawfal, which I believe is somewhere in the Asian Pacific, but regardless of the fact,
he's a bot. He's an AI.
Yeah. I actually saw him for the first time. He was doing this really good debate. I'll repost it later about how China's winning this war.
Yeah.
By 1,000 cuts. It's right. But he states Trump to sign, and I've seen this everywhere else, Trump to sign executive order to reclassify marijuana as a Schedule III drug. A major shift in federal drug policy is coming. I'm not going to read this whole thing. Basically, he's taking it out of the Schedule 1, which is alongside heroin and LSD, and to Schedule 3 alongside with Tylenol, codeine, and certain steroids. I think this is something he spoke about a month ago, where he said that he was thinking about reclassifying.
Why don't we just
marijuana.
unschedule it altogether?
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you that he should take it off. This does not decriminalize marijuana. This does not decriminalize anything. It's
just
still
your
at a state
sentence is
level.
less.
No. Actually, technically, your sentence would be less. It would be brought down to that of a fucking probably like a very low level misdemeanor. At this point,
I mean,
that's like you're peddling Tylenol.
I would hope that this translates to the people across the country that are serving decades behind bars for marijuana trafficking, because there still exists people in prison.
Yeah.
So I let them out. Let them out now.
Yeah. So I think this is a good thing. A lot of people will disagree with me. And Reno's in there saying weed is for, I'm guessing there's going to be some racial slur that comes right after this.
I think it's a reference to American History X.
Yeah, I think so too. But regardless of the fact, like, we should be bombing cartel leaders, which we're going to talk about later. But we shouldn't be, like, American citizens using drugs that fucking the cartel's bringing in. Chinese are bringing in as fentanyl. Shouldn't really, they're really victims of this system. And I'm not going to overly victimize them. If you're fucking sitting there and you're fucking doing drugs, you're never going to get up. You're going to find a new drug to fuck you up. You know, prescription pills for suburban moms is the perfect example.
Minifins. I mean, come on, remember that shit?
Tramadol. Tramadol is actually a very powerful.
You can co-sign this, Enrique. An overwhelming majority of people, at least I can speak for the feds, are people that were addicted to drugs, that were either selling drugs or did something stupid to maintain that addiction. Now, look, I'm not excusing the bad behavior, but there is an issue there, and these drugs are coming from Mexico predominantly. Yep. And it is a system that can be fixed if we would have put the time and effort, as we claim to do, with rehabilitation. We could address this issue majorly.
I agree.
You know, this what Barry said is right, but if you're talking about the 80s and the early 90s and late 90s and early 2000s, this was from a proliferation of doctors just handing out fucking Percocets like fucking candy, turning an entire generation of fucking millennials into fucking junkies. And
it had a lot to do with it.
And I know that from personal experience. You take a 16-year-old girl who had a back surgery and you give her perk fucking 30s, and then you cut her off. At some point, fucking after 5 years of taking that shit, they're going to go out and find something else, and most likely it's going to be heroin. And then from
it's
heroin,
going to be cheaper.
yeah, and then you go from heroin to fucking to fentanyl, because fentanyl is more readily available.
Sure.
I remember the one person that I did know that was addicted to fentanyl said at one point, she said it to me this way: at one point, it went from all brown to all white.
Yeah,
and everybody was.
I've heard that.
And she said everybody was done.
Yeah, and I live in Broward County, Florida, which is one of the last blue fronts in our great state.
Dude, you guys got a fucking bad police force down there. Holy shit!
It goes both ways, but we live in Broward County, Florida, where at one point in the United States, 80% of all OxyContin and RoxyContin prescriptions were coming off of one block in Broward County, Florida, called Commercial Boulevard, home of the pill mills, where the pillbillies, they call the whole market of people from the Appalachians driving down to Florida, where you could just walk into a doctor's office, say, "My foot hurts. Here's $200," and this doctor would write you a prescription for more RoxyContins than all doctors out of the state of Florida would write in a year combined. That is phenomenal. So I mean, I'm very present to that notion down here.
We had it so bad up in fucking Boston that just about every single CVS and Walgreens had fucking armed security because they were getting robbed so much because of the OxyContin fucking. It was like 1 year where it was just a fucking complete and utter war zone in these poor, destitute fucking neighborhoods in fucking in Massachusetts, like Brockton and Randolph and fucking Roxbury. All of those places, they were getting fucking robbed. People were losing their fucking minds on the OxyContin thing.
Yeah.
My mic was off.
Dumbass.
All right, let's shift gears here. A point of contention. Actually, we put this up because me and Barry
Here we go.
slight disagreement.
Slight.
Disagreement.
Like, I'm ready to cancel our friendship on it. I just want to throw that out there.
That's probably why you have that stupid ass hat on. What do you have on your head? Oh yeah, you can see it clearly on the camera.
It's a Burger
Did you
King
lift
help.
your camera?
Did you
I?
see?
I think
Did,
you
didn't you
lifted your
see?
camera.
I may have.
You did it on
Didn't you
purpose.
see Reno's
Yes, I did.
fucking comment. Barry's
What
got a
is that?
Spirit Airlines fucking flight later.
I don't understand the reference. I just really like Burger King. I don't know what you are
I don't get it either.
pinning me into, but
I don't get it either. So Candace Owens, interesting character. Erica Kirk was asked, and let me pull this up. Her face says everything in this picture, in this video. Let's add to scene. Let's just it's a 33-second clip.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an
eyes just
employee of
went
Turning
wide.
Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say.
That little, let me replay that little last line right there. Just take a look at her eyes.
That's it. That's all I have to say.
Oh, wait.
That are putting these lies out into the world right now.
Stop.
That's anger.
That's it.
That's rage.
Yeah.
And
That's all I
then
have to-
that's her turning it off right at the end.
yeah,
That's it.
That's
You know?
a type of realness that you can't fake.
Of course.
Oh, I get what he was saying now. No, it's not what I'm referencing at all. I just like Burger King. You can tell by looking at me that I like Burger King.
Look, there is a couple of people that have these ideas about, the Charlie Kirk shooting.
Yeah.
And I believe some of them are legitimate concerns, right? And there's a way to go about it, right? Like, did he work alone? Maybe. I'm 50-50 on that. Is he the shooter? I'm 100% sure of that. But going above and beyond and getting like these certain truths that are that have an emotional pull that bring you in,
Yeah.
and grifting off of them and just trying to tear apart, the wife, a widow, because at this point it's like an attack on her. Because shortly after this, she said she's not going to stop, even though she said, "Well, if Erica Kirk tells me to stop, I'll stop." Now her excuse is, that she'll stop only if she's telling a lie, and I believe she's being an opportunist here. I've known Candace, not personally, not like at a personal level. I've known Candace since 2016. I met her at the Breakers in West Palm Beach for an event with Gavin and Donald Trump Jr. And when I met her, her name wasn't Candace. It was Red Pill Black or some Red Pill Black, yes. And she's always been an opportunist. She's always taken what's controversial and jumped in. And that's one of the things, like TPUSA was controversial at that time. And she went in, Charlie took her under the wing. And the way that she's talking about these things, it's not right, dude. It's not, she went after Tim Pool the other day on some bullshit. Like somebody shot up Tim Pool's house. And then she turned into, I'd love Rob's take on this, her and Ian, which I don't like. It's not, I don't dislike Ian, but don't get into the firearm space if you don't know how to talk about it. Because they got completely thrashed by firearm Twitter, just went ham on Candace's, if you shoot, you could do ballistics on it. If they called the sheriff's office on speaker, and the sheriff's office is like, oh, we have no record of that. And that was suddenly that was taken as true. Well, Cam Higbee, which I met in Portland, called the actual police that run that area, and they're like, yes, this definitely did happen. So there's a way to question things, and then there's a way when you have a battle with somebody. I've said this on the show. When you have a battle with somebody, you pull out all the stops, and that's what she did with Tim. Tim has attacked her on the show, I think rightfully so, and she's used it as like a crowbar, and has pulled out all the stops on Tim, and she misses most of the time. I think she's a straight up opportunist, and I think she's taking. It's a disgusting thing at this point. What's your take on it, Barry?
I've always liked Candace Owens. I can't sit here and co-sign. You know, if you're going to mock what happened to Tim Pool or say it didn't happen and have no proof of it, call the wrong sheriff's office. I mean, honestly, I can't get behind that. I have a lot of respect.
And look,
for Tim
there might be something there that I'm getting wrong, but
right?
Yeah.
For me, my thing with Candace is I think she does raise some very valid questions, and why you create monsters out of someone like Candace, whether for better or for worse, is when you don't come forth with the people, and you allow people to create their stories and add their narratives and create a snowball effect, whether it's truthful or lies. If they, instead of just being fucking honest, I think Candace has raised a lot of valid questions that people, especially people that should care, are refusing to even look at. Why did that guy jump up and take off that video camera from behind after Charlie was shot? This is an active crime scene. That should be illegal. And even though it did happen, why is he not questioned and prosecuted? Because if any of you and I jumped into that, let's say we saw an opportunity to take a hat that was at the crime scene so we could sell it on eBay and say we had a hat from the crime scene, bro, we would go to jail.
Yeah.
We would go to fucking jail, and we should go to jail.
Facts.
Okay? So why did that happen? Now, I'm not a ballistics expert. I'm not a weapons expert, but I do shoot a lot, and I do own a lot of guns. And I have shot a lot of targets, soft targets like watermelons and shit like that. And I know it's no comparison.
Wow, that's racist.
Good.
Dude.
Pigs and watermelons. Hey, my Muslim and black friend were like in the range. I probably shouldn't have been shooting down range at that time, but that's besides the point. So what I will say is I don't buy what I saw. I don't buy the story that was in an exit, like not an exit wound. I think that was an exit wound, not an entrance. I'm sorry, but I don't see any solidified proof. So why are we stopping? The more we stop people from asking these questions, the more extreme versions of Candace Owens you're going to find with commentators.
I'll tell you before I go to Rob, the last podcast she had before this interview came out, it was estimated, they did a report on that, just one pod. And just on super chats alone, it was about $5,000, right? Just super chats alone. That's not your creator revenue from YouTube, sponsorships, things like that. And I think that is it's telling. I hope one day we get to the point where we're making $5,000 an episode here. But one thing we're not going to do is we're not going to sit here bullshit and fucking we're not going to fucking cause an issue for somebody just to fucking push we'll ask questions. Look, those are fair questions.
Yeah, we validate Patty every day.
Yeah, exactly. The camera thing, the question of how he jumped off the roof, why he was like those things are things that you can question. You can question them properly. But I think we live in a time where true crime documentaries have made people think that there's some type of fucking internet sleuth.
Yeah.
And with her, I think those points that you said, that she brings up those fair points, I think that she knows that. I think that she knows that those are fair points. But then she grabs that emotional tug that you have, and then she goes ahead and she turns it into something else. It's not similar. Somebody told me that it's similar to what Alex Jones does. Alex Jones doesn't do that. And another thing is that Alex Jones for being Alex Jones, right? When you watch Alex Jones, you know what you're getting. He might say some wild shit, but there's something there. And when he asks questions, he's telling you, look, I'm asking this question.
And he predicted 9/11.
Respectfully. Rob, your take.
First of all, I didn't say anything about money. I didn't say anything about this yet, so I have no idea what the fuck that comment was about. But anyway, look, dude, it sucks because I used to like Candace a lot. I've never really ever seen her be wrong. I mean, Bridget McCrone is a fucking dude. Like there's no. That's
here we go. We're getting sued.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck that. What's a fucking derogatory term for fucking French? You can't say frog because that's Canadian. That's a puddle jumper. So I don't know what the. I guess.
Wait, aren't Canadians frogs?
Yeah,
Isn't
Canadians
that,
are frogs. So you can't.
I mean,
call
I'm sorry,
people frogs.
French.
No, the French. They call them frogs because they're puddle jumpers. They left France and came over to Canada. That's why they call them frogs, puddle jumpers. So anyway, listen, and it sucks because this is dividing us, and we're being, every time we turn around, there's something else going on that's dividing the base, and it sucks. And ultimately, for me, the truth is it's a woman speaking, so I'm not paying attention to it. So I don't really give a fuck what she says, to be quite honest with you. But what I see the damage that it's doing, and that's what I care about. What I care about is all of these people, doesn't matter who it is, from Candace to Nick and everybody else in between, everybody in between, nobody's taking a fucking moderate or measured approach to anything that's going on right now, and it's causing so much fucking division that we're going to end up taking it fucking hard in next November. I mean, this is just what it is. People are at each other's throats over this. Instead of just Candace speaking and go and let it go in one ear and out the other, big fucking deal, whatever. And then somebody else says something, and then you let it go in one ear and out the other, and move the fuck on, and actually pay attention to the things that are important.
Something else I want to point out that you just reminded me of. So she said, anytime, anywhere, TPUSA, right? And TPUSA is like, okay, we'll schedule it. And they gave her a date and a time to say her points. And I don't think TPUSA would be opposed to bringing Candace on the screen for a debate with somebody there. And she said that she can't go because it's her husband's birthday. Well, Sarah Fields met her once at an event. Sarah Fields pulled back an old clip of Candace Owens' podcast where she's talking about, my husband's birthday is like tomorrow or something. Like, I forgot the context exactly, but his birthday is actually in March. And she said clearly that it's her husband, and that she can't go, and it would be remote. Shit, if I was TPUSA, I'd be like, you want to do it fucking remote? Let's go. But you know, this widow. One more point on her husband, and her specifically, is her husband is a Qatari citizen and a British citizen, right? Candace Owens doesn't even live in the United States anymore. She lives in London, or in the outskirts of London. She's been there for a long time. I've always said on this show, I'm against foreign influence of any kind. I'm asking a question now. A person that is married and needs the financial support of her husband, right? I'd say that needs the financial because she already has a lifestyle, and those $5,000 per episode or $10,000 per episode is not enough. I believe that we should start questioning what her motives are, because there's a lot of foreign influence in there, in her background, in her purview. She's not surrounded by Americans, right? She's surrounded by Qatari citizens, citizens of the UK, and who knows what else.
Well, can we just do a full disclosure? We are getting paid $7,000 for this episode.
Yeah. And we're going to spend it fruitfully. This message brought to you by Mossad and the government, the new government in Israel, and the future government of Gaza.
And Weiss's Bagels, Bibi Netanyahu's favorite bagel spot in Jerusalem.
And you know what's funny is as soon as we start talking about the small hats, here comes Reno.
Yeah, go figure.
He transported himself back to 1985. Look at that.
I love
shit.
it. I think it's great. I think it's great.
I listen. I'm digging the setup.
I think it's great.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm digging the setup.
The fucking glasses, the jacket, like you look like you just hacked into my computer and are going to plant.
We got to send him a
something that
members
shouldn't
only
be on
jacket.
there.
We got to send him a members only jacket. That would just complete it.
I just got back from having coffee with a very lovely person on the beach. So
he came and you
Who
came.
the fuck
You went
goes
in
to
your
the beach to have coffee? It's like hot as shit out
and
there.
it looks like he just came in his fucking Ferrari Testarossa from the fucking late '80s.
Hell yeah, you look good, bro. You look good.
Jamming to freestyle.
I got to spend that Israel money somehow.
Hey, Sloth Mom, that is not pink. That is
Purple.
magenta.
That is
magenta.
Oh, God.
Magenta. Magenta. If you see right on the screen, it matches with the Warboy Studios logo, which is the point. I'm pretty sure. But let's move on. Right? I think this is an issue where you're right, Rob. This is splitting people, especially on the internet, right? Because you could split a lot of people on the internet now because there's influence there. So it's sad to see. I've never really been a fan of Candace Owens. Her SJW shit back before the Trump administration, where she used her black supremacy against the members of the whites, is a problem. Her virtue signaling on the stage of TPUSA, always using her race as an issue. I'm not very friendly with people that have come. You know what? I am friendly. Let me not say that. I don't trust people that have switched their entire worldview to be a voice in the conservative movement, right? It's kind of like immigration. We have these sets of values. It's fit in or fuck off. And, most of our values are conservative. I'm not saying that. Actually, probably 95% of our values are conservative values. But I can't trust somebody that came from the other side and flip-flop, because those are things that are ingrained into you. I appreciate the walkaway movement. I appreciate the umbrella that we built for the coalition that we built for 2024. But it seems like we all had different goals and we have different ways of achieving those goals. So
one last thing, if you don't mind, on this.
Go ahead.
And this is not giving her an excuse. Please do not take it as that. But I honestly, truly believe, from everything that I've read and everything that I've seen, I think that she was deeply, deeply in love with Charlie. And I think she is fucking raging.
It's possible.
Yeah,
That looks like a woman scorned.
Yeah,
not even a woman scorned. It's a woman who's she's in love, and the person that she's in love with got shot and killed, and she wants answers. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't fucking believe it. I don't know if I believe it, but it's plausible. I mean, a woman in love will do anything.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Sloth Mom, Janina, I am so sorry. This new system only doesn't show me your name. It only shows me your user. I am sorry. I usually don't like calling people Sloth Mom. I'd rather use your name, and I know your profile very well, and you do have it on there. So I appreciate it.
It's brighter in here than it's ever been. It's fucking brighter in here than it's ever been.
Who's bitching about the lighting?
I don't know. I think Queen Anti-Commie said something about my
you live in a cave. Dude.
Actually, look, let me full screen you. I think this is a good upgrade, Rob.
It's fucking brighter than it's ever been.
I think you should center yourself a little bit better, but that's the only criticism I will give you on this. But
as far as the camera goes, yeah.
I think you should change your coloring.
All right, so let's get through these. We're about to hit the hour mark, and we have three more small situations. Jocelyn Ballantine of the DOJ, which was a lead prosecutor in not only our case, but most of the 1600 J6 cases. She was one of the heads of the Capitol Siege Division for the DOJ, which was pretty much comprised of a task force of FBI, DHS, is leading the investigation and the prosecution of this bomber, which I actually feel bad for. You know, he seems like a little retarded. I don't think he worked alone. I think that he worked with somebody else. I mean, we'll see. But it's you don't gain confidence in these institutions if the fucking main subjects of the Biden administration's war on American citizens for practicing their right to free speech on January 6th is the head of this investigation, along with Special Agent Nicholas Hannick, which was the special agent in charge of our case. This weekend, I was in the New York Republican Club with Cynthia Hughes for an event for the launching of this new thing called Weaponization Watch, which is going to be kind of like an America First legal, where they take legal offense to some of this weaponization that occurred. But it's pretty damning. I'm not going to say who I talked to, but I have talked to somebody of importance in the past 24 hours about this. And they were super concerned with the appointment of Jocelyn Ballantine in this situation. Was it Janine Pirro? Was it Pam Bondi? Was it the deputy director? I don't know. The truth is, she shouldn't be anywhere around the DOJ. I don't think she should be anywhere besides a cell for everything she did. She's the one that passed the document over the table, similar to what me and Barry are sitting in now, and told me to lie about the president of the United States in order to gain a conviction on the president and get me my freedom. When I told her to go fuck herself, that's one of the reasons why I got 22 years. It doesn't seem like we're draining any swamp. It seems like we're elevating these people into a position of power. The president was informed by the amazing Cara Castronova reporting for Lindell TV that the person in charge of this is a person that tried to prosecute him and possibly work with Jack Smith to indict the president on seditious conspiracy. Barry, as a J6er, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, you did hit it. If you hit the nail on the head when you said basically we're tired of seeing the investigators investigate themselves for the shit that they cause, and there's no trust. There's no trust that can be gained from that. I'm glad Kara was able to get in the president's ear and say that.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's phenomenal, and she really deserves all the good things that are happening. The position that she's in, she's fought really hard to get there. So I hope that, I think Trump heard her. I do know that Trump listens, and he's not always privy to all these facts. He doesn't know these things. And there has been multiple times where the same type of scenario, although different circumstances, a reporter on our side was able to get into his ear. He heard it. He saw it. He changed it. Tina Peters, Dan Wilson. I can keep going. So let's hope and let's see that something comes out of it. I'm glad that something was said, but I just want to know, my only question is to you, do you know that if Steve Baker has made a comment on this new arrestee from this case?
He has.
What was that?
And I think his view is that this is a multi-person event. Also, the data, what's crazy is the data that was pulled from the guy's phone does not put him in the area of the pipe bombs.
The data that they lost. They just lost all of a sudden. It was just erased. Come on, man. This is how Candace Owens gets created.
Yeah, and look, to tell you, I said this on Viva's interview the other day. You could put yourself in the president's shoes. He wakes up every day at 4:00 in the morning. Situations, getting briefed by multiple agencies, his daily briefings, everything he has to do. It's impossible to think that he knows every single detail that happened. So I'm happy, again, that Cara Castronova brought this to attention. And he said, in the president's word, Jocelyn will be looked at. So maybe we see a firing. And based on my conversation yesterday, I think it's very likely that we don't see Jocelyn Ballantine take this case. As a matter of fact, I don't see that Jocelyn Ballantine keeps her position within the DOJ. But let's see, Rob, your thoughts?
I'm just waiting to see something happen, dude.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of talk. It's been 11 months, 12, just about 12 months, actually. And I don't know, man, as far as the intricacies of the people that had everything to do with J6, that's a you guys thing, man. That's you and Barry. You guys have way more experience with that. I just know that everything that I saw going into J6, everybody that got arrested for it, and all the people that were behind it should be fucking prosecuted and put in fucking prison, and we have not seen one arrest yet. And I'm waiting.
Actually, as a matter of fact, we are at
waiting for
-2 arrests.
Yeah.
We're not even at 0. I told
know.
this to Brianna on InfoWars the other day.
Yep.
We're not at 0. We're at -2. Actually,
-2.
probably negative more.
Yeah,
you know?
probably. And listen, I know it sounds black-pilled, but the reality is they don't have enough to prosecute these people after the 12 months of them being in there. What the fuck is going on? Everything that those people did to you and to Barry and Ethan and everybody else and Joe's still suffering. Everything that they did to people like you guys and everybody else, the 16 or 1,700 fucking people, they should be prosecuted for that. And not one person has even been arrested for it.
And are they going to get arrested for it?
No.
I don't know. We're literally running out of time.
Right.
Here.
I want them to. I want them to be arrested. But so I expect the worst and hope for the best. But I'm expecting that nobody, not in this administration, we're not going to see anybody. And by the time this administration's over, it's going to be nobody's going to be able to be prosecuted anymore.
I agree. Reno, your thoughts?
I think politics are faking gay, and I think that we need to fucking investigate the people investigating the investigators, and still not do anything.
That seems complicated.
40 chess.
That's like a complication. That's like, well, we need to investigate the investigators of the investigators, because that's actually what's happening, right?
Yeah, everybody's investigating everybody. It's a big circle jerk in Washington where everybody's sniffing each other's ass. That's it. That's all that's going to happen for the next 3 years.
Yeah, I agree with you. So take a look at Weaponization Watch. I'll share it again. We're looking to make big strides and go on the offense, at least at the civilian level, right?
Enrique, you want to answer that question?
Why is everyone wearing sunglasses inside? So it is in the application process for the War Boys Studios.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Some of us have very long nights, and some of us have very long days, because sometimes you stay awake for multiple days at a time. But it is a requirement in here in the War Boys Studios, specifically in the NewsBrief. I think the only person that gets a pass and always gets a pass, and you guys gave me shit for this morning, is Kim. Kim is the HR director for the War Boys Studios, and she gets to do whatever Kim wants to.
Well, that whore can put sunglasses on like everyone else.
Oh, she's going to fucking your ass.
I know.
Hey, Kim. You just got another page added to your HR file, sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because we have an HR department.
I might be leading the pack then, because I'm pretty sure she sat me down in her office and has wrote me up about 100 times already. So
yeah. So let's go on these two.
Don't worry, we're investigating it.
Rob, you're going to lead these two other ones because you brought this up. Mr. Garcia.
Oh, God. So, yeah, let me bring this up on the screen.
We got about 10, 15 minutes max.
Yep. So this motherfucker was released. A judge said that the Trump administration was holding him illegally for nearly 4 months. U.S. District Judge Paula Zenas, whatever the fuck her goddamn name is.
I believe it's out of Maryland, correct?
Yeah, District of Maryland issued a 31-page order on Wednesday granting Abrego Garcia habeas corpus petition and directing the Department of Homeland Security to immediately release him.
We need to investigate them.
I mean, so this guy was, they were going to send him to Africa, and then I guess he agreed to go to Costa Rica, and that still wasn't good enough. And this judge is releasing this guy who has been proven to be Trendiagua.
No, he's MS-13, but same thing.
It's actually
MS-13, Trendiagua, all
Conte
stick
Oseco, Taco Bell, it's all the fucking
yeah, it's all the fucking same.
All that shit.
It's all a bunch of
Capitico, which
drug
is my
runners.
favorite hot sauce. Hey, turn them.
Enrique's like, dude, we're getting fucking. So anyway, let me bring this. The Legal Aid Justice Center was their one of their attorneys from the Legal Aid Justice Center confirmed the release Wednesday morning. Now, my question is, where does this motherfucker go? This dude is a gang member, a drug dealer, and they're just going to let him go, and you don't think he's going to fucking disappear? Look at these motherfuckers. Look at these motherfuckers.
No, he's gonna fucking. He's moving in next to you, bro.
He ain't coming into fucking New Hampshire. I tell you
Next
that.
mountain.
We don't like those people
What is
here.
going on? They're arguing. He probably it's because he's smoking and blowing it in Barry.
We're going live. We're going live. Just go live. Stop. Sorry. Technical difficulty. Can you full screen the thing, please?
I don't know how.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
you fucking summoned her, you fucking idiot.
You're done.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. What's up, dog? Where's your sunglasses at?
Oh, now you're going to be all nice to her, right?
Why does she look like Erica Kirk's fucking all serious, like she's going to, like, hurt me?
Why do you
fucking rip you into asshole?
Why do you look like you're from the Blair Witch Project and this is your last fucking film you're ever gonna make?
Is she trying to get her?
me there?
Rob, are you working on her audio?
I'm not touching her audio.
Oh,
Seems
it's
like
like
you're working on
Enrique's
audio.
speech. That's cool.
I owe him a fucking lobster dinner. We got to go to a place
Certainly do.
that has
There she
fucking
is.
steak and lobster because I don't eat that shit.
Hello,
Kim, you put some effort into yourself today. You look nice.
Thank you.
Oh, he is kissing your ass. Oh my god,
You're so
he
smoked
is
today,
sucking
Barry.
up.
He knows I hold the firing power. That's why.
Yeah. Unfortunately, somebody gave that to a woman. That was a stupid idea.
A pregnant woman
Again.
too. You guys, this is why DEIs need backup.
She's gonna.
It's all the stories.
gonna
It's Adam and
rearrange
Eve,
her show
Prometheus, Pandora's box.
Yep.
That's it. I'm just living up to my historical significance.
You're a good sandwich maker, Kim. We're proud of you.
So
you didn't hear anything. This dude's.
I'm
released.
sorry,
Where does
we
he
had
go?
a huge problem here in the studio.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure you did.
And I had to mute the mics, and we had to fix this problem ASAP. Go ahead, Rob.
Shouldn't do this
Give me
in
a-
the studio, by the way.
Okay.
So listen. I don't see how a district court judge can overrule the federal government when it comes to something that was a federal crime to begin with. And this actually goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning. The state is now overriding the federal government.
Is it?
Well,
is
here
it
the
same?
supremacy clause is clear. Wait, but are you saying? Hold on, because I didn't know this. Are you saying that this is a state judge?
Yeah, she's out of Maryland.
She's out of Maryland district. It's a federal judge.
U.S. district. Okay, yeah. I didn't read that part. Okay, so the federal.
But
This is the-
you do. There is a thing that you're kind of right about, and immigration law is completely different than most of this.
And you would know all about this?
Yes, I definitely do.
This guy was throwing rocks for
I've had
Elian
ice at the door
Gonzalez, bro.
before. So she shouldn't have any say in this because this is an immigration problem, and he could argue these points remotely from a different country. I believe he was sent to Africa.
Yep.
Right?
So that was the
and then sent
Uganda
back.
was the goal.
Yeah, and then
they
back.
they did send him to Africa.
Yeah, and then he came back, and then they were going to send him to Costa Rica.
How did he get back? Why did he come back?
We're paying
who
for
sent
all
him
this.
back?
We
Dude, I
are
wanna
paying
be-
for all this. Taxpayers are paying for all of these fucking shenanigans, dude.
I want to
If
be.
we can make sure that a Kennedy plane doesn't make it back, we can make sure his plane don't make it back. That's all I'm saying.
Well, look what Russia did to the owner of the private military company, which
Yeah.
I actually have
Yeah.
one of their patches here
Wagner Group.
from one of their soldiers
That was killed in the plane?
that was
That's pretty
actually
impressive.
killed on the ground. But yeah, it's there. Cool. It's not bloody or anything.
I just want to be. I
cool
want to
if it was.
be an illegal alien so that I can jet set all around the fucking world like this guy, dude, on the taxpayer money.
We're paying for all this.
Well,
for
I
the
got-
benefits.
I got
This should have been
diesel
fucking
therapy.
settled a long time ago. When he got sent out, I think it was El Salvador first, right? He was sent to El Salvador, and they sent him back.
This is exactly
El Salvador
the
could've-
opposite of what they did to you, Enrique, was because he is flying on jets and nice planes. And
Oh, yeah,
shit.
of course,
They had
of
you in a
course.
fucking the back of a Bluebird bus shackled.
In a convoy.
Diesel
Yeah.
therapy.
Kim, what do you think about this?
I tuned in way too late to offer any sort. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about right now.
Garcia.
Ladies and gentlemen, women.
Garcia
Garcia, yeah,
Thank
whatever
you.
the fuck his goddamn name is, was released by a judge
That
in
MS-13
Maryland.
dude is the judge fucking released.
The Maryland dad,
Okay.
Kilmar Garcia. Yeah. The Maryland. He's just a Maryland dad.
Well, I mean, like, is this not further proof that our own government is in cahoots with foreign terrorists who want to come in and I mean, they have equal interests, so it's just more evidence that these are not people who are actually working for us. The people they're working to infiltrate us, and it is, as my husband referred to it, an anti-nationalist socialist state.
Yeah.
The heroes of the left always
Right?
It's
George
incredible.
Floyd?
They championed and still cheer for us to go to prison, to be sent to prison for years and years and years. They want this to happen, and they want the release of illegal aliens that have hurt people, have killed people. They advocate for this. Their heroes are shit.
Yeah,
they're shit.
Right.
So the fact that they call us villains, I welcome it as a badge of honor.
Amen.
Where's the quote from? I've seen what makes you boo, so I don't care why you cheer, or like keep on cheering. I've seen what makes you, or I've seen what makes you cheer. I don't care if you boo.
Yeah, Rick Sanchez, fucking
Is
beautiful.
it?
Yeah, Rick and Morty.
Is it Rick?
Rick and Morty. Your boos mean nothing to me. I seen what makes you cheer.
Exactly.
He
There
also
you go. I knew I butchered it.
He also said shit on the floor.
Yeah,
He
Mr.
also
Mr.
said
Bulldog.
Pickle Rick.
Yeah.
You got to get
That's
got
such a
shit
good
Swifty
show.
in
Oh,
here.
Rick,
I don't
bitches.
care.
Can we get Swifty in this I'm down to get Swifty. You down
know
to get
what? I'm
Swifty?
going to put him on.
Let's get Swifty in this bitch.
I'm going to put that on the list.
I feel like we stay Swifty.
Yeah.
You stay Swifty.
So, last story that we're going to cover.
Oh,
is,
here we
Rob.
go. Yeah,
Rob
dude.
again. Lawsuit.
Lawsuit. So Dan Crenshaw has launched a cease
Call
and desist. Eye Patch McCain.
Thank you. I was going to say,
I
call him
don't,
by
know,
his
I
real
don't
name.
even know which eye it is. Eye Patch McCain launched a cease and desist in a lawsuit against Sean Ryan, and he sent him an Instagram message saying that some of my buds in 6 are saying that you're talking smack, basically, is what it is. So not only is he being a bitch and not like reaching out to Sean Ryan, because I'm sure that Sean would be accessible on the phone to Dan Crenshaw. He's sending him an Instagram message like a bitch and saying that his guys in 6, which is a reference to DevGru, which is SEAL Team 6. So that is to guys like Sean Ryan, that is a veiled threat. And basically it was about Sean Ryan, who didn't even, like, I ended up watching the video that Sean Ryan put out. I had seen the headline and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I subscribed to Sean. And I watched the video, and it was stemming from a clip that Sean was talking about, and he never mentioned, not once, never mentioned Dan Crenshaw, but how does somebody on a $174,000 budget get one of the top, most expensive DJs to DJ his birthday party? Where does this money come from? He wants to know about insider trading. He's asking the questions that we all should be asking, why these people who are not supposed to be doing what they're doing for money, because our forefathers knew doing it for money would change what the narrative and what they were supposed to do, which is represent us. The second money gets involved, people can be bought. So these people are doing they're all part of the insider trading when it comes to stocks. How do you go from not being a millionaire to being a multi-millionaire? And because he asked that question, Dan Crenshaw got butthurt and is threatening legal action. Now, according to Sean Ryan, he wants it to happen. He's like, you know what? No, I'm not ceasing and desist. I'm going to keep talking about this. Pretty much go fuck yourself, Dan Crenshaw, which is great because I'd love to see somebody just doing this. And he's like, listen, you know what? When we go to court, there's a thing called discovery.
Absolutely.
So you know what? You have to prove me that I'm lying about you insider trading because I want to know this shit, and it'll all come out in court.
Absolutely.
So this is a
Not only
case.
that-
Go ahead, Reno.
Well, not only that, but I'm sure he got the money. I'm sure he got the money for that DJ from the $233,395 he got from APAC.
And just real quick, to co-sign what that as far as Steve Aoki, Enrique, you grew up in Miami. We actually know some of the same friends. I know the Miami club scene very well. I have friends that were big time club promoters and bookers. Steve Aoki 10 years ago was going from anywhere from $25,000 to $150,000 an hour. So
how many years ago?
that was at least 10 years ago when my buddy was in the midst of booking him at Cameo nightclub down here in Miami. So I was involved in seeing the prices he was paying to get him to play for like 2 hours. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what all comes out in that discovery. I encourage that lawsuit, just like
I kind
Sean-
of went down the rabbit hole on this dude. I had no idea who he was, Steve Aoki, and it seems like it's $500,000 to book this motherfucker.
Easily
$500,000.
Yeah, I was gonna
dude.
say this is 10 years ago when he wasn't half as big as he is now.
So I'll tell you
$500,000 fucking dollars for
I'll
a
tell you-
DJ
I'll
at
tell
a
you
40th
this.
birthday party.
As far as the legal front goes, this isn't a defamation case. He would have to bring this up as a libel case, which would be bad news for Dan Crenshaw, because in a libel case, he would also have to prove that the allegations aren't true. And in discovery, most of this will come out, and you would have to basically open your books to the court. Obviously, the court would appoint a special master, so none of this would seep out into the public.
Oh, but
I think that this is it would it would definitely would. That's why I think that Dan Crenshaw, Eye Patch McCain, would never in a million years even try to bring this lawsuit to fruition, because honestly, what you're making in Congress is a lot more than you being able for one night and one night only bring the talented Steve Aoki into to DJ at your party. I don't even know why Steve Aoki would say yes.
He's a super fucking libtard. I can tell you that much.
Well, not only that, but
everybody's money's green, right?
Go back to what he sent him, and to use the dev group as a leverage point with Sean Ryan. I would guarantee to say that fucking Eye Patch McCain doesn't have a whole bunch of fucking friends in dev group.
No.
Anything else you guys want to bring up?
Did my camera just freeze?
Everybody's
No,
glitching
sure
out
did.
except for me.
Actually, yes, it did.
I'm
Camera's frozen.
I have white internet.
Yeah. Out in the boonies where Rob is, there's probably not much internet. So
No, it's just stupid camera fucking overheating.
oh, okay.
Buy a better camera, faggot.
No, they sell a cooling kit. Let me run this ad by Flip, which is a host of one of the shows that we have here on the War Boy Studios. The show's called Stars, Stripes, and Scumbags. You could go and check the list. I believe they go live Monday, but here we go. Does everything in-house. All those videos are actually him carving out those tree trunks that he gets from his local mill.
And my fiance bought me one for Christmas last year when I got out of prison in the halfway house. It's hanging up in my living room. I look at that thing every day. I fucking love it.
Some of the pictures that you see on the 1776 shop, the product pictures, always have a flag that he made for us, him and his wife, because it's him and his wife that run the business, is sitting right in our reception area. So go ahead and check out the Patriot Shack and check out Stars, Stripes, and Scumbags right here in the Warboy Studios. And I do have a financial ask for you guys. Another host of, actually, let me take Rob. Rob shows offline.
Yeah,
I could hear you, but it showed offline for a second. That's fine. That's fine. We're closing out. So Bobby Pickles has transferred over to Connecticut because he had a lot of issues with his family. His two of his family members had passed away. He moved up to Connecticut to help with all their stuff. And he's trying to move back down here to Miami. But because he's a J6er, he's had some financial issues. So we're trying to get him, and I'm going to give him some warehouse space so he can continue to do his business. But he needs a little bit of help bringing his shop down here. He has to rent a U-Haul. He has to get a place. And he's not doing very well financially because he's been taking care of his family's estate. Something that he's not actually benefiting from at all. Yeah, because he's in Connecticut. He's over there in Yankee Town. Rob, give me full screen here for a second. Actually, I got it.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
I will be posting this on my page, and I will be pinning it to the top. And there's a little, some people like lying on their gives and goes. Most of this is true, except the title. Help build Miami's best free speech shirt shop.
Yeah, not accurate.
Not accurate.
No.
Not accurate at all.
Not accurate at all.
The best free speech shirt shop in Miami is the 1776.shop, which is going to make a major overhaul when it's running. It's actually not running now because we're making those changes. We have been victims of a DDoS attack that has rendered our site pretty much useless. And we're working on getting those protections up, but there will be a major overhaul in the 1776.shop. When I say major overhaul, it doesn't mean that we're just going to change the page. We are going to, you know what? I'm not going to say exactly what we're going to do, but I will tell you that there's going to be a big change in it. But please go to my pin post. I'm going to do it right after the show. Help Bobby come down here. I'm already helping him with shop space. He just helps. He just needs help with relocation money. His shop is pretty big, so he does need a lot of. He has to drive this down from Yankeeville all the way back down to the best state in the union, Florida, and specifically Miami. So please. Whatever you could give, $5-10 would be appreciated. Let me bring this down. And do you guys got anything else to add before I start saying our goodbyes?
Well, 1776.shop does remain a free speech, one of the best free speech shirt stores out there. I will say that, but it is American Rising that has the best products on 1776. So make sure you check out the American Rising store if you actually want real spicy shit. I do want to highlight that our brother Patriot Rob, it was a record for you today. You came down a notch from the last 3 news briefs. You've only said fuck or fucking 51 times.
Have you
this
been counting
segment.
it?
Yes, this whole time. Fuck or fucking 51 times. So good job, Rob. You're down 7 from last week at 58. So good job, bro.
We're working.
Good job, bro. That's, we're coming down. Good job. 51 times.
Just like getting attacked by a tiger in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, the chances are never 0. So that's number's never going to be 0.
Good. Yeah, you should do that.
Actually, you could just pull the transcripts and search and see how many pings you get.
There you go.
Actually, that's going to be kind of hard because
run it through
we say
AI.
fuck a lot. Like fuck. I just fucked up like your search right there. Rob, any last words for the firing squad? Reno, any last words for the firing squad?
Yeah, no, guys. Just hey, I'm suffering from migraines today, so if you guys pray for me, because I'm
We will.
in fucking major pain. So
It might be all those purple lights around you.
yeah, it might
And the
be.
sunglasses.
Or the cat. The cat can have
Or the
something to do with
cats. The cats can have something.
Leave my fucking cat alone.
You're lucky this isn't fucking Ohio.
I know they. Oh yeah,
They're
dude.
eating the cats. They're
He's
eating
small,
the dogs.
He's thick, dude. Yeah. They get a lot of bacon off of that cat bacon.
Small but thick.
Oh, and I should have my.
It might be
Not a
love
bad way to
connection.
have a pussy.
I should have my studio stuff in supposedly Saturday. It keeps
All right.
getting
Well, if you need
delayed,
help,
but
just give me a call.
yeah.
Do not call. Well, actually, Saturday I have I have 2 weddings to do tomorrow.
No, but I will need your help later today, so I'll give you a call
Yeah,
about
give me a
adding
ring.
that what we were talking about.
Okay. All right. That closes out the show as far as for me goes. Catch the news brief on Monday. And I tell you to go to 1776 shop, but you can't go right now because the site's being overhauled with some security features on there. But we do have a lot of gear, a lot of new merchandise that I have not put up. And I appreciate you guys. If you guys want to support me, go to noblelead.substack.com. That's where you could subscribe to me. I write articles here and there, but basically it's just like a general support page for me. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys for watching the Warboy Studios and NewsBrief today. I enjoyed our conversations with our hosts because of all the stuff I have on my little notepad. I thought we were going to go over 2 hours, and we've actually done good. So this is us signing off. Thank you guys.
Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Peter said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
And FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are.